I'm here, Ashley, Steve, Larry, and Brad. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 people in the audience. At this time, we'll have invocation with Alicia and Brad. Buddy, could you at least make Alicia feel better to do the pledge of allegiance?
Thanks a lot. Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for this day that you've given each and every one of us here tonight, Lord. I just ask that you watch over us and protect us, Lord, and give us to serve you to the best of our ability, Lord. I give you all the praise and the glory. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, item number 3. Do we have any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda?
I'd like to make one.
All right.
Please. Ms. Janice Springs here tonight to discuss one of the programs she represents. I'd like to move her to the top of the agenda, please.
Okay. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're going to make Miss Brown 4A.
That's all I have
Okay.
for now.
Any other deletions or just additions to the agenda? Okay. 4A, discuss and approve the following meeting minutes. I'm sorry, item number 4, discuss and or approve the following meeting minutes. February the 6th, 2024, SCOP workshop minutes.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Jake,
Second.
seconded by Alicia. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Miss Brown.
I'm going to deliver this instead of mailing it to you, so you
Okay.
can look at it.
Thank you. Miss Brown, you're going to have to make these letters bigger because
Okay. I'm here on behalf of the Glades Education Foundation, and the Education Foundation is like a support group for the education for the school district here. And what we do is raise money and have matching grants and things throughout the years to help support activities to supply additional funding for things like field trips, supplies that are needed, different programs that the various schools may need or the teachers. One of the things we had a couple of years ago is that we got a grant through the state from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for college career readiness. And we had $15,000 for the 2-year period, and we spent it on field trips to colleges, FAFSA completion nights. FAFSA, as you know, is a free application for federal student aid. And lots of, not just here, but throughout the nation, students do not apply. In Florida alone, over 300 million was unclaimed in 2022. Nationwide, it was over 3 billion. So we encourage students to apply for assistance so they can get further training in technical or college schools. So what we're doing is once our grant ran out, finished up, we're calling on local sources to help fund that project to continue it. So just delivering a request along with some documentation about how Glades County stands for your consideration. Okay?
thank you, Miss Brown.
3 minutes.
We'd let you go a little bit longer.
Well,
Do you have any questions?
I remember the Gates grant was that a one-time grant, or is that something we can apply for again?
It actually comes through the consortium of foundations statewide, and they chose 6 counties throughout the state.
Yeah.
We were one, Okeechobee was one, Hardy was one, Dixie County was one. There was another one in Northeast Florida. We were by far the smallest. And this is something to try and encourage students to get further training. If you notice in the flyers on the left side, only 14.7% of the population in Glades County had a higher quality degree, which means 2 years or higher. So we are like 65 out of 67 as far as that statistics concerned. So a lot of the students just don't know what opportunities are available to them. And more and more, there's technical colleges that have programs that fit other than just the academic avenue that people think of when they go to college. So we're trying to encourage them to find the funding to pursue further training or education to help them with their futures. And also, they don't know what careers are available, so we took them to a career fair in Fort Myers last April at FSW at the arena there. And there were all kinds of opportunities that they just had no idea existed. So we try to open their minds to other possibilities other than the limited number of occupations they find in our county.
Good. Thank you.
If you have any funds you would like to contribute, that's what we would like to have happen in the future. Okay, any
Yes,
other
ma'am.
questions?
Yes, ma'am.
They good?
I'm fine. I'm fine. When I'm sure it says in the letter, if we would decide to make a donation, we'd make our mind up and send it to
Just,
P.O. Box 443.
that's it,
Okay, that's fine.
okay? And we're not rushing, just take your time and be generous.
We have to check our banker.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Brown.
Okay. Item number 5, discuss and approve the contract for Alpha Fireworks Display for the 2024 July 4th firework display.
So, just a little backstory on this. The people that have done our fireworks the last 2 years, they have went from $11,000 to $20,000 this year. I told him that wasn't our budget. So I did a little bit more researching. The people that are on the agenda originally started at $20,000 for a 50-minute show. I told them if there was any kind of wiggle room that they could help with, they could get it down to 11 minutes on the show and basically the same quality show, just down 4 minutes for the 11,000 that was budgeted
All right, start over here now for a second. They went
across
from-
between the city and the
They
county.
went from 11 to 20.
The 20 down to 11.
No. What, you're right. They started at 11, went up to 20.
Oh, those people,
Then
yes.
she beat them back down to 11
And we split this.
with a different group.
County pays $5,500
Right,
and we
county,
do.
So it'd be 10 apiece.
It'd be $550, $5,500 a piece for the price that I got at now.
And we'd be able to keep the same amount of time.
No, we dropped 4
You're losing-
minutes.
You're losing 4 minutes.
Okay. Well, what I'm getting at is I want to keep the same time and get the county to pay half.
But we didn't budget that.
Budgeted in.
We budgeted $5,500. We'd have to go up $4,500 on our side
For
For 4
minutes.
minutes.
for 4 minutes.
Take what we can get.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think we better hang in there to that, lose
Gives
4
a chance
minutes
to-
this year and,
Gives a chance to possibly budget
Yeah.
some more the following.
Now, one of the other firework companies that we've used in the past, they did email me back today and say that they didn't have any availability for anyone, but they could sell the fireworks to us like they did in the past. That was before my time.
Yeah.
Who used to have those?
Mr. Wiltshire
Harry got burned.
Probably remember,
That Harry
is
got
Harry
burned.
Blue.
no, we're not
So
doing
no,
that.
we'll,
lose 4 minutes.
I'd rather lose the 4 minutes and save the money.
It's the same
Just
price.
make a note to
I'll make a motion to approve the contract with Alpha Fireworks Display for the 2024 fireworks.
Second.
Motion by Jake to approve the fireworks, for the Alpha Fireworks Display, seconded by Mark. Any discussion?
We need to make a note to, when we get ready to do the budget.
Yeah, budgetary item,
And
yes.
let the county know
And
for their half.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right. Item number 6, discuss and approve paying invoice 2006 from McLaren in the amount of $420 from the ARPA funds.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Alicia,
Second.
second by Brad. Any discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
All opposed? 4-1. Positive. 4.
Okay.
Okay. Item number 7, discuss and approve reimbursing the city for the order of an ACE Cool Sewer inspection camera in the amount of $999 from the ARPA funds.
Motion to approve $999.99 from the ARPA funds for the county.
Motion by Jake,
Second.
seconded by Mark. Any discussion? Can you explain what this is to me?
I can tell you what it is.
Okay.
We've had several issues where there's been something on the city side that was
Mhm.
lodged in the pipe or whatever, and we have had to go to Port LaBelle Utilities and borrow their camera to be able to see it, or we have to pay a plumbing company to come and do it, which is a lot of money.
The last time we couldn't use theirs, what was our price for getting Pam over here?
Pam's Plumbing charged us, I want to say it was near $1,000 just to come out one time, and this is $1,000 at one time, and it's ours.
And Clay, it runs off a little suitcase generator. And we've had the suitcase generator for some time.
No, this is battery.
Oh, battery, okay.
Yes, it has a battery. It just came in today, actually.
And it's coming through the ARPA money?
Yes.
Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8, discuss and approve the purchase of a 14-panel Christmas tree. That's what it's,
14-foot.
14-foot Christmas tree. Let me go back to
Keep going.
8A, buy the mayor glasses, 'cause I didn't see that little 14-foot panel Christmas tree from Carpenter Decorating to be paid for from CAPFA.
Ashley.
Well, this was brought up not this past Christmas, the Christmas before, about buying a Christmas tree to have out here in the park. Every time I've checked into them, around this same size is nearly $10,000 or more. This one, they had a closeout sale going on, and the price is good until tomorrow. So if this is something that we want to do, this is our time to get it for that price.
And this is permanent. It's ours.
Yes, it's a metal pieces that stack on top of each other, and it has the panels that go onto it that has the greenery and stuff and the lights in it. And that also includes a topper for the tree.
And who are we purchasing it from?
Carpenter Decorating. Mhm.
And we have a budget item, a line item for that?
Well, this is going to be done through CAPFA.
How much you say it was? It's not currently in the budget.
4740. Guys, if I may, I think there's going to be something come up, a discussion later tonight, that before we spend any CAPFA money, we may want to consider some issues that we have ahead of us. Christmas tree's nice and it's beautiful, and I think the city would look nice with it. However, until we get some other issues panned out, we needed to seriously think about spending any CAFTA money. And if y'all find another source, I could support it, but not spending CAFTA money right now.
I think we ought to have a good idea of what we gotta spend on this project
Yes, sir.
that we're over. I agree.
That's exactly what I meant with it.
You can always put
We
this
can
on
use
the
the
next
ARPA.
CAPFA meeting to discuss, because by then you may know better what you're doing with other categories.
The
Still
price will
scheduled
change
tomorrow.
after tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But we also do have the ARPA funds, if that's something y'all wanted to consider paying for it with. We have to use or have the funds accounted for by a certain date in that.
You use the from our.
Well, I'm gonna make a
I
motion
do.
to approve it.
Yeah, because
Well,
we
we can go from there.
did it for any
You'd be
expenditure.
better off getting the ARPA funds, then,
There
because you'll lose them if you don't spend it.
Well, we have a motion by Alicia.
There's discussion.
But what was the motion to purchase out of ARPA?
No,
Which
she just
one?
made a motion to approve it, but she didn't say what her funding source is.
We can use the ARPA funding for that, yes.
How big is this thing?
14 foot.
And this is something that, every year when they do have Christmas, when Christmas on the Caloosahatchee is here, this is something that we decorate the park, but we don't have a Christmas tree. I've heard it for years. Well, I know that we've been drastically hunting one of these trees for
Yeah.
several years, and they've been very expensive.
You said it was 10,000.
That's the
Really?
minimum price I've seen on one of them.
I'm gonna go ahead and second Alicia's motion to approve the 14-foot panel Christmas tree and strike the cap for funds and change it to the ARPA funds. That was one of the question was if we could find another source of
Yeah.
funding. So we,
How much are we talking total?
4,500.
48, it's 48.
I
right?
just looked at it.
47.
I just pulled it up.
4740.
45, 41, 75.
Oh,
and that, this is, when it was brought to me, this isn't something that we're gonna put in the rafters at the city barn.
Better not do
We're
that.
going to hang it or however it's supposed to be stored at the Challenger building in the extra storage where the float's at. There's walls in there. We could easily build a shelf or hooks and hang it with whichever needs, but I would expect that we would get hopefully at least 6 to 9 years, 5 to 8 years out of this.
You probably can get longer than that because you can just take the greenery off and rewrap it and intertwine it.
So you're basically buying a metal
Yeah,
structure.
Basically.
And you can decorate it how you want.
Yes.
It comes with decorations and all that.
Mhm.
All right, the motion, and a second. That's all the discussion I have, sir.
Alicia, you got any?
No, sir.
Mark,
Any discussion?
any discussion?
No,
Good.
as long as it doesn't
All right.
blow in the river.
Oh, no, it's
As long
heavy.
as it don't weigh 14 pounds. Yeah. More than 14 pounds.
Look here, man, when you get 50-something years old, you'll see that. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right. Item number 6, ratify the approval of resolution 2024-03 concerning the Scott program for agreements numbers 45-1528, 45-1529, and 45-1530.
At the February 6th meeting, the council did approve executing the grant agreement for these 3 projects and sent it back to the state for their execution. However, when we looked at Exhibit D in the agreement, it required a resolution. So basically, this resolution is just confirming the council's approval for the grant agreement for this project. That's it. So we've already executed, the mayor's already executed the resolution. And when we send it back, this is just ratifying that action.
So I'm gonna go ahead and read the resolution by title. 2024-03, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Moorhaven, Florida, approving the Florida Department of Transportation Small County Outreach Program Grant Agreement for 451528-1-54-01, 45129-1-54-01, and 451530-1-54-01, authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement and providing an effective date.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mark,
Second.
seconded by Brad. Any discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
As long as those numbers were in Steve's salary.
Item 10, approval to declare equipment obsolete, delete from asset list, and authorize disposal through auction.
We have presented, I think, 11 different pieces of equipment and on the agenda, there's pictures attached. Most of the equipment is obviously obsolete and some of it was only good for parts only kind of thing. So we would like to get that out of the warehouse and get it off to auction. Like I said, I don't expect that we'll get a lot out of it. However, at least we'll get something out of it and also get it out. Warehouse because it's just sit over there for
Clean the yard up a little bit, and make it look nicer.
You know, I saw a t-shirt in the Keys last summer. It said $20 is $20.
Goodness.
I actually just have a question, Brad. For that truck that has the bed on it, could that bed be used for anything, or is it just you go with it?
Pretty beat up.
Okay.
That truck fell out probably.
Okay.
Motion to approve the equipment list that city manager has put together.
Motion by Jake to approve equipment list,
Second.
seconded by Mark. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Item number 6, discussion concerning the
Number
ditch.
11.
I'm sorry. Told you my eyes are going. Discussion concerning the ditch along Tobias Avenue.
At the last council meeting, there was some discussion from the public about the ditch along Tobias Avenue. It is obviously, an eyesore. It's also, a dirty, problem kind of thing. But looking at we went in to look at the property appraiser's website, the parcel that's adjacent to the ditch is a county, a piece of property belonging to the county. The city's parcel is further below that. It's not adjacent to the ditch. So I think if we have to look at some discussion with filling that ditch in or possibly moving the road, it's going to have to be probably, initiated through the county.
We own on this, the
We-
county owns the road, the county owns the ditch.
Yeah.
We own on this side of the ditch, but the county still has an easement going down that ditch. We've sent the information and the request to the county manager. And we would encourage them because as you can tell where that ditch starts, it comes around the corner and ends at the railroad tracks. It goes nowhere. It is, that's definitely a county thing, but we do everything we can. We got the dirt. They want to push it in and we can haul it down there.
And I'll follow up and give the county manager about trying
Yeah.
to.
Yes, sir. Please.
I don't know that we got enough dirt, but yeah, I mean, it's a good start.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because, we investigated it and we were told where the guardrail is. Everything to the,
South.
to the south of the guardrail is city, which puts the ditch right in the middle of it. And everything to the north of it is the county, which was the road. And I guess what we're looking at was the way, I don't know, I think I don't know the technical term, but it'd be like a caisson.
Yeah.
You put caissons down there. And so you still have the function of the canal, and then you just cover it up with dirt, and plants something on it. And we're looking at, the least expensive way to go would probably be to put the sidewalk where that is versus moving the road. But ideally, the road would need to move because then they wouldn't have to go across the street and use the sidewalk. But right now, they're using the road.
Yeah.
So anything is an upgrade. And that's why I was trying to say, who has what? And like you said, the other thing we have is south of the guardrail is the city.
From the way I understand it, the way I look at it is when you come across the railroad tracks, there's an empty piece of property right there.
Right.
Then it goes down to, I think, what you referred to as Miss Maisie's house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's the end of us. And then from there, you're turning into county. That's the way I understand it.
So
Well, I mean, that's what the map basically. If you got a copy of the map,
Yeah.
can he look at it?
yeah, I have a big copy, but yeah. go ahead.
Okay. See the blue, that's the cities.
Okay.
Now let me ask you.
No, on one of them. He's looking at, make sure
Okay.
which one he's looking at. 'cause there's
Okay.
Two different ones.
This parcel belongs to the county. This parcel belongs to the
Okay,
city.
okay, I see what he's looking at now. All right.
Okay. And so based on that, kind of go down the middle of the canal. And the county is on the middle, on
No.
the other side of the guardrail into the street, and okay,
Where's the whole canal?
interesting place to put it. So either way, it's gonna probably need some cooperation,
Yeah.
but the thing is, I guess what I was hoping to hear was, I know you said you were gonna look at it and kind of get an idea, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's gonna probably take about this much, and then whatever we had to do to talk between the county and you, I know you got the sewer thing, which is a county city thing. I don't know if it falls in that, or how do we need to get the discussion started? But one thing that doesn't go away is a
The
health,
blight of it.
is a safety issue, is a health issue, and it's just an eyesore, you know,
Sure,
and so
yeah.
how we got to figure this out, we just want to get it done.
Larry, can I ask you a question though? If you show him that map again, from what I'm calling Miss Maisie's house, which is that last house on the east side. You see it, Jake, where it says Tobias?
Yes, sir.
From that yellow line up to the road, I've always thought that was the city. Correct? Am I right there? Or are we still back below them houses?
This is our property.
Yeah, I know, but But-
section down here.
this
Yellow
piece right,
ones,
this piece right across here, whose is that? The county?
Let me pull it up.
You see, you got that area, that's vacant. I'm talking about that way.
All right, and I'm trying to get this in my mind, and I apologize. So from Miss Maisie's house towards the lake,
Right,
that's what we're looking at on the map.
right.
But from Miss Maisie's house west towards the, I can't say the railroad tracks.
Yeah. you go
Is
across.
that what you're referencing? Are we talking about the same thing here? Or are we talking about the whole?
Well, I'm initially, I mean, practically, you could do the whole thing, but initially, I'm concerned about everything that's west towards the tracks.
Exactly. That's what I,
And you look
okay.
at that
Now that's,
section right there.
okay, that's a little different. Let's look at that. From Miss Ford's house back towards the railroad tracks to 6th Street.
Because actually, where you have that area marked, when you're coming in from the dike, that's where it starts.
Exactly.
Washington Park. All right, that's fine. I'm talking about stuff.
Exactly. Now the more you talk, I get to thinking about it. Why would we worry about from Miss Ford's house to the east when we need to worry about Miss Ford's house to the west? Right.
Okay. Is this what you're talking about, Clay? All
Yep.
this?
Yep.
That's all county.
That's all county.
hmm
Okay.
All this inside of these lines. The blue
Okay.
lines are
Can you
county.
print that right there for me, please, somehow?
I'll have to go in there and do it.
So then there again, now we may have enough, if we could work something out of the county there, we might have enough shell or stuff back here that we could fill that in to do something, help the county do it. We,
Absolutely.
you know,
It's a road.
Dad, I see what you're saying now. Why do you want to go? There's nothing out that way. You want safety that way.
That's correct.
Okay. You see what I'm talking about now, Jay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's what I was saying, that, with the caissons, yeah, I think I'm using that correctly, except this one, we're going on the bottom of it too, because you don't want it to muck up.
Mhm.
They put it down there, cover it up, and so
Like we
the
did down
function
here.
of the canal is still the same.
In front of the school. Yeah.
And so what I was hoping to do is kind of frame it and say, okay, right now I know we ain't swimming in budget, and neither are the county, so we need to then at least frame, here's what we need to go after, find out who we need to go after, or start writing. Or if you got a little extra money in your back pocket, let's get it started. But
Well,
the main
you-
thing is,
If you'll sit down there for about 10 minutes, you're gonna realize just how bad we are.
oh,
So,
yeah, I figured that. Okay.
but I mean, that is something we can deal with the county about, and we can all, I think something needs to happen there.
Yes, yes. In fact, that's where it's really bad right there. Down there, it's like, okay. Except- All right, thank you.
Eyesore, too.
Yeah, man. So Larry, if you don't mind, get with Jen, please. If I'm not speaking out of turn, guys. And let's see if they can come up with a plan maybe to help us go from, I'm gonna call it Miss Maisie Ford's house back to, I used to call it Miss Leela's, but it could, I don't really know the address to it.
Yeah, 6th Street.
6th Street, yeah. And we'll all, thank you. And we can go from there. Okay, any further discussion there? Okay. Approval of item 12, approval of continuing agreement for professional services with CAS and Associates in conjunction with the RFQ for engineering, surveying, and utility locating services dates, May 20th, 2022.
back in 22, we did an RFQ for engineering services. And by Florida statute, when you do an RFQ for architectural, engineering, surveying type services, you have to do an RFQ, then you select them based on qualifications and experience. Then after you select a company, then you can negotiate a price agreement with them, kind of thing. But we did, the council did award that RFQ back in June 7th of 2022, when the RFQ closed. However, we didn't follow up and do a continuing services agreement with them. So we're back now trying to get that agreement signed, but what that stops is that every time we get a project, we don't have to try to go out and do an RFQ to get those engineering services. We can use this continuing services agreement, which is authorized in the statute, as long as you have a termination clause in there and that kind of thing. So it's, like I said, it's our benefit. It does not stop us from going out and doing additional RFQs at any time. It's just, this is a mechanism the statutes let you have, that you can set up an agreement that as you get projects, you can give that to them at our choosing, to them to go ahead and get the engineering done on it. Like I said, I don't know how we missed doing it. I was here at that time, and somehow I missed following to do that continuing services agreement. We did a similar one on the sewer side with the CCPWA. I think we closed that one out in November of 2021, and we did along with it, we did the continuing service agreement for it. But somehow or another, so we missed the city one. So that's what I'm trying to get. And this is particularly important with grants and things, because particularly with grant deadlines and things like that, the time you get the funding and you have to start in that, you really don't have time to go out and get an RFQ for the services you already have contract in place that you can use. So that's what we're trying to do, is get this contract get it started so that we can continue to use it.
Larry, everybody gets their keys once in a while.
So Larry, are we locked into them without this? If we decided to go to another engineering firm, can we do it?
Yeah, you can.
We're not locked in.
You're not locked in.
Okay.
This does not lock you in from doing anything. This is just for this one, for these type of, this is one, I guess you'd say one professional services agreement that we have with them,
You may use it.
that we can use them at any time. This continuing service agreement does not prohibit us from doing any other.
So if we wanted to go out and do a similar deal like this
Yes.
with another engineering firm,
We can at any time, yeah. But as both of these RFQs for the CCPWA and the city side, but back when we did those, this was the only response we got. We had the RFQ out there for, I know, for extended period of time, and this was the only company that responded. But like you say, that doesn't mean that the market hasn't changed. But I mean, like I said, we can go out for additional contracts at any time. There's nothing that prohibits that.
This is what we're doing now is, like you said, everybody loses their keys. We're kind of catching up on paperwork that should have been done that we missed. So we're not affecting our contract or anything with them, but at the same time, it's not extending the contract. It's just allowing them to continue to do work for us. Am I saying this right? Continue to do work for us
Without having to go out and do a
to get another
separate
engineering
RFQ
firm.
for for example, when a grant project comes up, we won't, a lot of times you don't have time to go out and do an additional RFQ. That takes a while. Usually it has to be advertised, set out there for 30, 45 days kind of thing. And sometimes, we may have to re-advertise it, do that kind of thing. This just gives us the opportunity to use this agreement and this is just for engineering related type services, not for any type of construction.
Sure.
Don't have the option, project by project.
We're not happy with them, but
yeah, I mean, and there again, I'm kind of I'm kind of not happy with them. Another thing that kind of bothers me, they know we're upset with them, but
Yeah.
where's Greg? You know, where's David? I mean, somebody I feel like should come in here and say, hey, let us, you know, I'm not, whatever y'all want to do, I'm not real happy with this.
Another change order.
And if it was up to me, we would send it back out one more time to get a RFQ it. So, but it's such y'all's, you know, that's just me.
I made a motion to approve.
I'm sorry, Mark, I didn't hear you.
I
Motion.
understand nobody's happy with it. None of the five of us are happy with it.
Well, Mark,
But
buddy,
what Larry
but-
said, you gotta take that into consideration.
well, we got a motion, so motion by Mark,
I'll second the motion.
seconded by Jake to, thank you, Mark, to continue agreement for professional services with CAS Associates in conjunction with the RFQ. Is there any further discussion? And yeah, I do. I think if we're this unhappy and we've all voiced our concerns that we're not happy, then we need to send it back out. And I mean, where are they at? They're not up here trying to defend themselves. Send it back out and maybe somebody will buy it. We don't have to accept what we're getting, guys.
If we send this back out, we're gonna be uncovered for a period of time, because
Yeah, you
like I
can't
said,
do that now.
we have several grants
We've gotta accept
coming up, going on, but we don't have this agreement. We're gonna have to go back out, and like I said, it's gonna take some time to get there.
We have to
And
approve this
then-
now and then discuss.
No, next time.
And our
As the
grant funds may
contract gets
expire.
close to being
Right.
ending, we'll send it
This
back
is just
out.
giving you the luxury of not having to do an RFQ on a future project, but you still retain
Before the
full
contract runs
option.
out.
You still retain full option to, if you decide and it's timely, to bid it out.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Aye. 4-1. Motion carries. Item 13, ratification of approval for an inventory assistance agreement with the Florida Rural Water Association for funding to complete lead services line inventories.
Need to take a desk. right?
Need some more paper there. Basically, we were notified that through the Florida Rural Water Association that, I'm gonna read the lead and copper rule revisions in 40 CFR 141.84 require community public water systems to complete lead service line inventories by October 16th, 2024. What the Florida Rural Water Association is doing that for service areas with less than 3,300 in population, that they will fund this portion of the project to do the inventory and establish of records. And they will, I guess they have a maximum amount of $75,000 that they will fund a project for, that they will work with who, is a contractor to do the work. But like I said, it's on a first come first basis, so we have, when it basically signed back that we wanted to participate in the program, have FRA do the agreement, fund that project, and also complete with the rest. Like I said, but yeah, I wanted to make sure, since we're talking about that, from the thing, they're saying that they have a lot of applicants. We wanted to try to get in there as soon as we could to get our foot in the door.
So this doesn't guarantee we get in. This is just getting us in the door.
Yes,
Okay.
That's a good
and getting
deal
us
for the city.
in line, because like I said, right now, they're doing this for areas that have with population of less than 3,300. But there's probably a lot of them out there in that range.
Mhm.
Okay. Can I get a motion?
Move.
Motion by Mark,
Second.
Seconded by Alicia for ratification of approval of an inventory assistance agreement. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Okay, report of officer, city manager.
I have nothing else at this time.
Okay. City attorney.
On the property that we discussed last meeting, by,
Yes.
what street is it?
10th Street.
10th Street. The problem you're running right now for legal description, the surveyors are way behind. And I know Larry had asked me.
You want to come up front? This is
Come
about
on,
your property.
Charlie.
Charlie, you want to come up here, Charlie, please? You hear what he was saying? He's talking about the surveyors. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
they're way behind as far as the orders, so I don't know how quickly it'll come, but I wasn't sure if there's something that you needed immediately or
No, I just wanted
to get it
yeah,
going.
yeah.
Okay.
Been this way 30 years, so, you know.
Right.
It don't matter.
Okay, I just wasn't sure, so I
Yeah,
wanted to bring it to
yeah.
their attention in case they wanted to do something different, so. Because I could probably describe it somewhat, but I don't think it's gonna work in the future, so we're gonna have, either way, have the surveyor have to do a legal description for it, okay?
Okay.
All right, that's all I have.
All right. Anybody got anything for Steve? Anybody got
Church
anything?
property. Where are we at?
It's,
We gotta get
the
this
corrective
off.
deed's been recorded. I know that my assistant was working on doing the deed swap and she had been in contact with the church. So I'll have to ask her. But it should be pretty imminent.
Okay.
Okay, good
Yes,
deal.
sir. Thank you.
All right. City clerk,
I don't have anything.
Craig A. Smith. CAS governmental. Okay.
She's still in Tallahassee.
Well, I guess that's a good
I
thing.
think there's 2 weeks left of the session.
Okay. All right, Bradley Wade, yours are.
Well, we reached out to a few electric contractors on the pole change ups. They're wanting to come kind of get a better look at what the job scope is and what it entails before they'll give us any pricing. So that's kind of where we're at on that. Should take first delivery of the cans, the new trash cans tomorrow, first delivery. The truck that's getting the timber will go down next week to Deerfield Beach. They'll have it about a week. And we'll have it back and we'll go from there. You know, Chattanooga coming up, we've got the guys, they're trying to get what they can get done now. The week of Chattanooga meter reading time, that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we're trying to get everything we can get done now, because we're gonna be short on help those 3 days right before Chattanooga. The other thing I've got is this pavilion in the northwest corner of the city park right here. It's, the termites made a home out of it. Railing's bad and rotten, and I closed it off actually because where you can't go on the backside of it. Still use the pavilion, but it's in desperate need of some help.
The stage.
The stage.
That's gonna take a little bit.
What kind of help are you wanting to give?
Well, these new railings, and I would suggest putting the metal railings up like we did over here at the memorial. Or something of that nature, that we don't have to ever worry about again, because that's,
The two things with the railings is the irrigation hits them. The termites are in there, the same as they're in this right here. And I talked about wanting to redo this out here. But that over there where the railings are, that's ADA to get up and down the wheelchair ramp. We can wait on this out here, but either you're gonna have to keep that closed down or you're gonna have to do what he's suggesting on the hand ramps.
Okay, I tell you what, can you get us a price on fixing that? But make that a priority to get a price to fix that. That's all we need is somebody to climb up the thing and roll right on off the other side.
And then possibly when we, get it secure, ADA secure, and then possibly when we get ready to do something out here, any modifications that we need to finish on the
Yeah.
stage out there, we'll move forward with that.
Yes, sir.
I would suggest you maybe get 2 or 3 prices if you could and just go ahead and do it with the.
Yeah.
Because you really need to authorize it now and let Brad take care of it. The lowest bidder, whatever he thinks the most responsive bid.
So how's the rafters in that, Brad? Are they infested with them too?
They're decent, I mean, they're still in fairly good shape. Just that exposed wood and stuff that was on the backside of the grill.
So did I hear a motion from you, Alicia?
Sure, yes.
Second, motion by Alicia, seconded by Mark to, allow Brad to, how you want to word that?
To get two or three
To get
quotes
2 or 3 quotes
and go with the
to
lowest,
go
most
with the lowest
responsive
bid to
bid
fix the stage,
to make it ADA compliant.
make it ADA compliant. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Like I said, we'll keep it closed for the time being.
Okay. You want to spend any more money tonight?
That it? You good?
Okay. Approval of the bills in the amount of $38,243.84.
It came down a little bit this time.
Yeah.
Motion to approve bills.
Second.
Motion by Jake, seconded by Alicia. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, citizens' comments and general concerns. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. All right, who wants to go first? Come on up to the mic. State your name and your address.
My name is George Hartman. I live in Moorhaven Yacht Club, 865 Yacht Club Way.
Okay,
Got a concern with the water. That's 2 weeks. 20 micron filter. That's what it looked like when it started. It's bad. It's like slimy. I can get it out. That's what it started as.
Is every,
I just want to bring it to somebody's attention because I've been there 5 years. I've never seen the water wash out. Fire hydrants flown or anything.
is that where didn't you just fix a break over there a week ago, Brad, or?
Yeah, we had a small break in that area, and I know I sent Shelton in there to flush, but we'll continue to flush it.
Well, I've never smelled chlorine or anything in the water, never.
Did they put chlorine in it?
No,
Mhm.
no, that's something. Is that the reason why I smell like an odor comes out of nowhere? 'Cause it's so dirty, or no?
That's the chemical that you probably smell now,
Oh,
the chemicals.
But like I said, if you don't want to look at it, it's slimy.
I see it.
All right, that's all I had. Thank you.
thank you.
Increase the flushing over there, Brad.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Greta, and I live on 729 Avenue E. This is the first time that I've ever been to this type of town hall meetings. But I believe my question has been answered already, but I'm still gonna ask because that's the whole purpose why I'm here. You know how we're doing our sewage system and the community is actually doing their own? Well, my mom saw that there was this soil and dirt over on Avenue R. And part of the process is to break the septic tank and fill it up with dirt. Is that available to the community to help?
I had a question about this also. And my question was about this same address. And they wanted to do 8 houses at one time. And they wanted to know if they could use the spoilage material from digging out the street to fill in their septic tanks. And that's what your question
Yes.
is.
That would be a
And this
health
was,
department.
I talked to y'all about this. The guy wanted to do 8 or 9 hookups at one time. I told him I was not sure, but I had the same question. If we were, I don't know how, we can't allow contractors to go back and forth over there and get dirt.
No.
But if this gentleman's doing 9 hookups and, boom, 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 right in a row, maybe we could haul, because they're going to have equipment there to do this work. To crush the tank, you have to have equipment. You could possibly just haul a load of dirt that direction.
Mark, I'm sorry, Jake.
Yes,
Steve, what's your thoughts?
Would the fill be appropriate?
sir.
What would you do with it if you didn't put it there?
Push it in that pond.
Push it back in the pond? No, we want it, yeah. We should back it.
Yeah, if that's the case.
I mean,
I mean,
we
we
would
went-
have to make proper arrangements
Yeah.
with a contractor. And I know some people are doing it on, like, they're probably doing a homeowner permit.
Yes,
So we would have, we'd have to make arrangements somehow
Yeah,
to do that.
and then who would pay for the contractor?
who would get first bids, contractors or the
Well,
community?
He's required to fill that in, so that should be in their contract.
Yeah, he's
That,
required,
that's my, yeah.
yes,
that was
the
my-
contractor's required to collapse the tank so it's airtight, watertight.
So we'd just be giving them access to the fill.
And when you're talking about fill, you're talking about,
Yeah.
10 loads of dirt in a wheelbarrow. You're not talking massive
right.
semi loads. You're
But
talking,
but their contractor we would give their contractor access to the fill that's been removed.
as long as it's under Brad's.
That's
schedule.
where the only place it's going,
You're right. We're not filling in, driveways and things of that nature,
the yards.
but it is the betterment of the community to get the nutrients out of the ground, and
Oh, we got the dirt.
you have the dirt. And a lot of people, since sewer hookups have started, it was always contractor. But now you go over there to these phases and you see a lot of people that are pulled the permits themselves, and she could tell you they're doing it on their own because
Majority of them.
it's just
So
It's that time.
it's very expensive. And a lot of the contractors are the ones that come and clean out the sewer, the septic tank. They charge over $600 just to break it up and,
and a load of dirt getting into Moorhaven over there between the dump truck. You don't need a whole dump truck. So I'm in favor as long as,
You can't just get.
right, I'm in
If
favor
we don't have an end use for it, then have at it.
as long as they coordinate it with City Hall.
Right.
So we don't have pickup trucks over there
Loading
loading dirt is what we're trying to prevent. But if you call City Hall, she can talk to Brad. And I mean, even you're talking really, it's
Me too.
probably one bucket load on the big tractor. I mean, how much time consuming is that for us to improve the neighborhood?
That's what, that's my thought, just let the contractor or let the property owner get with Brad.
Yes.
And then Brad can supervise, pick up. and-
Supervise.
And that might be,
Sewer
what-
business.
might be the way to go, Brad. Just very good with your tractor. And ma'am, what'd you say? You're at 729 E?
729 Avenue.
Okay. Are you in the process of hooking up right now?
Yes. Yes, we're doing the excavator right now, so the next step would be we'll probably be done by tomorrow with that address excavating. So the next step would be call Brad,
You-
I'm guessing it's you. So we can go, yeah.
Once you get your inspection, that you can cover everything up, then that would be your time to reach out to him or to City Hall.
Get a
So
hold
he
of
can-
City Hall, they can get a hold of me, do the easiest way.
So do I gotta wait for that time
You have to
where
do
that's
your con-
completed to get in contact with you?
Yeah, we need to do it as soon as your contractor does it, we need to be filling it in right at that time.
Yeah, once you pass inspection, your next phone call needs to be up to Ashley,
Yes.
is what I would suggest.
And keep in
No
mind,
way we
Saturdays
can
and
haul it.
Sundays, we don't have anybody available.
Yes.
I think you've been this week, so the same number you've been calling.
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
You think of it.
Thank you.
I'll get with you, man. I got an idea to help you out there. Okay, anyone else? Go ahead, Stacy.
You get a good
State your
podium.
name
It's like we don't know who you are.
What's your rank?
My name is Stacy. I'm a staff sergeant at the Glades County Sheriff's Office. My Lieutenant Willis is in a training this week, so he asked me to come. We want to just ensure that the traffic routes for the parade are still the same. That way we have, the proper roads blocked off, and if anything is changed in reference to the route.
So for the 5K, it's gonna start at Avenue L and go down Riverside and back upside. So it'll only be on Riverside.
I think they're gonna start right here at the hump by the hotel, Stacy. Go down the river towards country, towards the lanes, that direction. Yeah, towards the gun, towards Hitman Chief, towards Bowes.
It's down
Yeah,
to
towards
city
Bowes,
limits,
excuse
road.
When they get to Bowden's, like you turn to go to Luane and Angie's house,
Mhm,
they're gonna
North
turn
Avenue.
North Avenue. They're gonna turn around there and come back this direction.
That's a parade route?
No,
that's
no,
a
that's
5K.
the racing.
Oh, a reason.
And then the parade route, is all we're gonna do is we're going to, instead of lining up here in front of City Hall, we're just gonna move it back a street. So it'll be, the Grand Marshal will start at First and J. I'll line them up down First Street, and then they can filter in from K and L, and I'm sure some of them will wrap around to the river, but in the same parade route.
I don't think it's that bad.
And then
Pipes.
there's probably one of the
We have
most
another lady
important
that came
things
in
about the parade route,
She
I
has
mentioned
copper
this
pipes.
to Mr. Willis, was the Sugarland Apartments.
Mhm.
All right, the parade route ends at the Challenger grounds.
Yes.
And as the parade route is ending, people are coming off of Avenue R and cutting also through Sugarland Apartments, trying to come back up to the Challenger grounds. And at the same time, the parade route ends and they go towards Avenue R. So we need a deputy stationed there at Sugar Apartments or the ball fields right in that area, just to not let traffic come back up 10th Street towards the Challenger grounds.
Okay, so you want us to stage, do you want us to stage at R and 10th? And just, well, if you're worried about them coming from Sugar Country, we can,
Yeah.
we'll
This
be
side,
at Sugar
that
Country
side,
Apartments.
yeah. And we talked about, we're gonna put some barricades there and block it off. But you know how they drive around barricades, Colleen was there, Colleen was there last year, and she did a pretty good job, but you still have those people that are driving around, and that's probably, parade will, I'd say just someone to like 11:30, somewhere right in there at the most. I mean,
To stop them at
To
the
stop.
Sugar Country Apartments,
Yeah.
okay.
Parade starts at 10. It's usually over 30, 35 minutes, but if somebody breaks down or
So you want to do 11:30 to give some leeway there in case
That'd
we
be
start
fine.
late or something in the
That'd be
meantime?
fine.
We'll do
That'd be
11:30.
But you want to make sure you could still get into the ball fields.
just
Don't block the ball fields off because that's where people park. So right there,
Yeah.
I would say,
and that, we want to allow them to come down Avenue R into the ball fields to park. So yeah, Sugar
and no further,
Apartments would be
not to the main gate,
right,
right there.
right. In the
That other little entrance, I'll block it off because they'll go in the field
Yeah.
and come back out on the road behind.
Yes.
and I
Yeah,
had
the
this
new
for
one.
Brad.
That was one of her
We'll
complaints
have
from
to
last year.
organize Brad with her to come and get the buggy, because she talked about the buggy. You'll have to coordinate with her to get the buggy.
You want to pick it up Friday or something is,
Probably.
okay.
We'll do with what we did last year.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Yep, same, yeah. And are you gonna, that's what it was, the other thing too. I'll need the color guards to raise the flags at 11.
Okay, and color guard at 11?
Brad fixed King fixed the cable, so we're gonna raise the flag. I'm not gonna hold it, they'll have to clip it on the, raise it.
Okay. So you said you're starting the parade at
10 o'clock.
10 and it's going to be First Street.
And
And Avenue
And
J.
J.
Avenue J, right here in front of the
Okay,
Eagles.
so it's not K, it's going to be J.
Okay.
There'll probably be parade participants lined up on K and L, shooting down through here. That usually what Mr. Perry does.
Okay.
Am I right, Ashley?
He's
Yeah.
never sent me his lineup. I've sent him over the stuff, but
That's-
he's never
that's
sent me
what
the
That's what
lineup.
we're gonna do. And probably just that morning, a deputy down at North Avenue so the people can turn around, the runner that morning can turn around and come back. I think he usually staged the deputy at the beginning and the end of the race.
So we have Sergeant Green escorting the 5K. I'm guessing he's going to be in front. So once he gets down there, he can block that off. And then once they turn around, he can get back in the front
Okay,
and bring them back.
perfect.
Unless you guys want
No,
two. We have
No,
one.
you're fine with that.
Okay.
You're fine with that. How many people ran with you last year, Larry, in that race? Do you remember, Clay? How many
Yeah.
ran with you?
Oh, I think there was at least 30 of us.
Yeah.
That's about how many that were in the race. So it's not a big,
Led all the way, right?
Led, yeah, it was amazing.
he read, he read,
And I got back up here and ate pancakes.
he wrote the deputy, he wrote for the
Well,
escort.
that's another question, Stacy. Where's the donuts gonna be?
We call those power rings.
Okay.
And if you find me, they'll probably be there.
Okay.
We're gonna set the pancakes probably up in the pavilion here for electricity. That's up to Patterson. I'm gonna try and get him to move it up to the top of the hill where the race is gonna start.
Okay.
It just kind of depends, but if anything changes, it will be within eyesight.
Okay.
You know, it'll be right here.
Yeah, Stacy probably need to get an ambulance down around K or about 100 feet that way. If I run, I will probably need an ambulance on the way back. Not-
Probably.
Yeah.
Also, Lieutenant Willis wanted me to let you guys know that this year they are going to have observation towers. Right now, we have 3 that will be brought in, and they will be in the area of the Dole Connor Building, the post office, and the rodeo arena. They will be 360 view and have cameras. That's just a little extra.
Secure.
Yes, sir. And they're now, the sheriff's office, we pretty much have full staff on the road. So we'll have extra patrol. We have multiple deputies in all 3 zones, which is Moorhaven, Lakeport, Buckhead, Muse Community, Ortona, Palmdale, things like that. So we definitely will be spread out through the community. There is a larger group of deputies that will be in Moorhaven area due to all the festivities going on Friday night and Saturday night. So the observation towers, I thought was a pretty good
Yeah,
idea.
man.
It is a good
Pretty
idea.
good thing.
He said that he had told me where he was gonna set them up, and I see them in LaBelle, but, do you need barricades or cones to put around them? Do they come with that?
I can ask that. He didn't tell. If they do, I'm sure he has that set up. We have a trailer full of
Okay,
barricades
all
and
right,
cones and
all
stuff
right.
like that. So if it does need them, I'm sure we will be able to supply them.
Okay, all right.
And that was all I had. Do you guys have any questions for me or Lieutenant Willis or anything I can take back to the sheriff's office besides the barricade and cone question?
Not at this time, I don't have any.
Thank you, Stacy.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
You get the Explorers up here to run the 5K if you want.
I can barely get them to do PT. But we will have them at the parade and the park.
They're not interested.
Stacy, are you running 5K?
I work, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I work.
Should be busy.
Yes.
I need it awful.
Anyone else? Okay. Item 17, mayor and council to give reports. Jake, you
Yes.
want to start or you want me
Yes,
to
I
start?
I do. Brad, that water flushing down there, get it going and getting it flushed, have him get some water samples and see if the chemicals are, we need to add more to push it that direction, please. I'm sure there are. I mean, especially after you just had a water break down there. I know you. I see you did a lot of work at the Challenger grounds in just a short time. I really appreciate it. It looks good up there already. I got a big one here, the Avenue H lift station. Talk to me. Where are we with getting these pumps in?
There's something wrong with the rails at the bottom and we cannot get them to work. So I called David, we'd go underground and told him to get on it as soon as he could.
So the pumps,
We
We have the pumps.
We have the
We
pump,
purchased the pumps, but like I said, we can't get them.
but the bottom of
Yeah.
the railing shot and the flanges that they suit tooth them and drop them in there,
so now you're,
So can I ask a question on that?
and then when you,
Go ahead.
the valves that we're replacing, as all this has happened, sitting there for months, they're locked up now, you can't even use them.
So did anybody, when y'all were looking at getting a price to fix all this, who went over and looked at the rails and all that?
We all have. We did, Craig E. Smith did, David, we've all looked at them.
explain to me the rails. What is, this pump sits on these rails? What's the purpose of the rail?
Down in the bottom of that one, that's pretty deep, it's 22 feet deep down in there.
Yeah.
That's where the flange for the pump sits.
Sure, gotcha.
And the pump sits on the bottom, but to get it down there and get them out, there's a rail that goes all the way to the top. And it's got a bracket on it that goes over that rail, and you slide it down there and it guides it in, and it seats itself when it gets to the bottom.
Okay.
And those are broke loose when that took that cable and all that wire and it got in it, it ripped it all loose, it tore them both up.
And what's your response with Creighton with going underground? What's going
They're
on?
waiting on material.
They're
They
waiting
have a
on
little
it.
bit of lead time on some material.
Okay,
In the 3-week range now.
starting today, 3 weeks.
Last week when I called was 4 weeks. So
What kind of money do you think we got into this thing right now?
that's that pump, that's a very expensive pump.
It's probably gonna be 15 to 18,000 probably to do the solid pumps.
All right, now I just want to remind you that, you know, I talked about this last time. So when we get this, I mean, you got the ball rolling, but if it's all possible, we got that camera, if we can send the camera down and check the rails or these flanges on these other lift stations, we need to try and do some preventive maintenance on them if it's possible.
Yeah, we've already spoken about look at all of them.
We got to stay on top of that. We got to push Creighton and getting that material in. This is going too far here. I have another question. Did anybody call about blocking the streets off at the baseball fields? They called City Hall. They called today.
Yes.
I did,
She called.
yes. And asked, contacted me. So I called my lieutenant because I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to make a decision.
All right.
And he said that it was to contact you guys because it was a city street. And I think I spoke with you, and then that's.
Okay. All right. All right. I just make sure. All right. I got one last thing and I'm going to end it here. So any of y'all want to go, a lady named Sherry Demmett from the governor's office is going to be in June Fisher's office tomorrow. She reached out to me. I talked to Larry about it. We're going to go up there and sit with her and push our legislative issues that Connie's been working on. It's in Miss Fisher's office. If any of you want to attend.
Okay.
Also, I got something here that I tried to do a couple years ago, and I've been trying to work through it. But I got a phone call today from the sheriff's department, and it's 600 Avenue E. There's a gentleman there that's named Leonard Nichols. He's been a water customer since 1990, and he's, I believe he's turning 98 years old. In the VFW, I think the Honor Guard, a lot with the sheriff's department, they're going to come and recognize him for being a veteran, his birthday. And the sheriff asked what the city would like, if the city could do anything. And when I tried to do this a few years ago, I brought it up about buying a plaque. You buy a plaque for one person, now you're gonna have to buy one for everybody. He was gonna reach out to the flower shop and purchase flowers or a wreath or something for his door. And I think that we can start the standard now and pay for flowers for someone that's been a utility customer and a veteran for all these years. So they're going to have it for him Friday at 11 o'clock in his front yard if anybody wants to stop by there.
There's a house number,
600 Avenue
600.
600 Avenue E. He's hooking up the sewer now, so it's been there a long time. But
How old is he, 98?
I believe that's what Mr. Hardin said. So I'm asking the council to recognize him as being a water customer since 1990 by purchasing a wreath for his front door.
And I don't think it from us. I just don't think it from all of us.
All right. But I like, 1990 is a long time to be a water customer in the city of Moorhaven and put up with the water that we've been producing for all these years. So anybody wants to show up there and recognize this man, I greatly appreciate it. That's all I
Do you
have.
know what breach she was?
I do not. I do not.
She's gonna donate it.
Okay. All right. Jake, you got anything, anybody got anything for Jake? Okay, Alicia,
I don't have anything at this time.
Marcus,
No, I'm good.
Brad? Well, I guess it's my turn. I started a little earlier tonight on this. I guess I'll go ahead and jump off in it tonight. I'm pretty upset about the engineering firm and some of the engineering projects we have around town, around the city park. I think they missed the boat total on the bore samples. And it's like I told somebody the other day, I don't mind a change order. Stuff happens. But when it's stuff that's, in my view, neglect, that's something else. And when we started this project, we said $1.6 million. Well, no matter how much you look at it, we're north of 2 now. And it's just like, if we don't say nothing now, when do we say something? Do we wait till they're done and say, oh yeah, we're not happy no more? At some point, and it bothers me. They know we're upset. It is no secret. This is going to probably be on WAFC. Charles is going to put us on there.
For sure now.
Yeah. I know David's been here, and I'm not picking on David. David the other night knew we were fixing to get it right, and he walked out.
Mm-hmm.
Greg's been sitting right over under the bridge. Knew that we had issues. Greg hurried up and got out of here. The bore samples is number one. The sidewalks. You can't tell me you don't know. Granted, the 6-inch line out here for the kids' park. Okay, I can understand. Stuff happens, but you're the one that engineered it. You should have known it. The water and electric line down here, Larry, that you showed me the other day. Granted, it was there, but in my mind, somebody should have said, "Hey, it's here." We shouldn't have had to dig down there and find it. It's just like somewhere else in the world they think there's a bigger pot to go pull out of. They've been our engineering firm since the 90s, and they make mistakes like this. I just can't. Y'all, I'm sorry. I don't go that route. We have to hold Brad to an extent, and Larry and Ashley to an extent, to a high standard. Why don't we hold our engineers? Now we're blowing through money and because we have to keep the city going, but yet we're $500,000 over. Jake, I'm gonna ask you a question, buddy. When you go to John Doe's yard to bid a job to mow his yard, do you go back 3 or 4 months later and say, "Hey, I forgot to put the weed eating in there"?
You have to eat it.
You eat it, Lisa.
Absolutely.
When you go, Brad.
Yep.
I do a budget every year. Brad, I do a budget every year, and it's for 1 month. I'm not in a very good mood, but let me come up and that budget not be right. I'm responsible for it. So why are we not holding the engineering firm that put us $500,000 over? Why are we not holding them? Why are we not? Where are they?
They won't come in and talk face to face.
Exactly. Where are they? And I think every one of us, not just me, I'm just a mouthpiece, but we should all be upset. Those people that are in that audience should be upset. They should be mad at us for letting it happen.
I think we need to schedule a meeting with them,
I think
be
that's,
all together
yeah, we
and
mentioned
voice our
before,
concerns, because we haven't done that yet.
we need, to get them in there and sit down. And by the way, with the additional muck that we had to take out, we're about $275,000 over the grant award.
Plus the engineering.
No, that's total.
It's 13% over.
We're with the change orders that we did, we brought that up to about the contract about 1.9 million, and then the engineer was about a little under 300,000, the total engineering for the project. So that puts us about 205,000 over the grant that we had, that we did receive. And like I said, that's received now, but like you said, that's probably what we need to do is have a meeting and discuss what, what we've been trying to do is just press on to get the street done, because the one grant had a deadline on it that's for the thing. I think we've got that, most of it's extended, but we've been trying to, I think, just push through to get it done because, it needs to get done, but obviously, I think when we sit down, that's the time to talk about, what we're gonna look at holding them responsible for. The board samples, those kind of things, and they have, they have, in addition to, that they have errors in emission and insurance, those type of things. If you're going to prove that they didn't, they obviously missed stuff they should have.
But you have told them we're not happy,
Oh,
correct?
yes.
Brad, you've told them?
I think they know that we're not happy.
They know. If you.
But there again, I mean, and I go back to this, okay, they know. Where's David? Where's Greg?
No, I agree with that.
You know?
If you go, I
I
can't
screw
agree
up.
with you more. You know how much I'm indebted to
Yeah.
this. I mean,
No, and
all
Jake,
of you.
you've done a great job
But
with
if
it,
you want
buddy.
to go there before you got here is, the first time they came here, they presented a set of plans and they said, this is in crayon. Nothing right here is for real. This is crayon. They never came back with everything's still been in crayon,
Well, the comment that was made about, in the engineering world, sometimes it's a crapshoot. Give me that $200,000. I'll go to Vegas and I would rather spend the $200,000 on myself.
The streets over engineered.
You
You
know?
don't have this type of drainage on I-4. I couldn't agree with you more. We've asked for it.
Larry,
Asked for it.
get with them. We need a workshop.
Try to maybe schedule it the
Yep.
same day we're gonna have the cap meeting to
Yep.
approve, for that street.
And it wouldn't hurt Mr. Ramoon to be there himself. But y'all, I'm just gonna tell y'all, this is me. Y'all do what y'all want. I ain't spending another cap of money until we figure this out.
They're 100%.
They're liable for something, Steve. They're liable.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything else, Mr. Mayor?
No,
Does anybody have
y'all
questions
always
for the mayor?
complain that I don't never say nothing, so I just figured I'd get it out tonight.
Let's pay some bills.
Let's all have a happy Challenger. If you get caught on video after dance, I don't want to know nothing about it. Discuss financial statements if needed.
I don't have any. Motion to adjourn?
Motion by Jake,
Second.
second by Alicia. Any discussion? Motion passes.